you're an online business owner, an online coach, or an online consultant, or a digital marketer, right? And you keep on, you know, tweaking your strategy, cannot stay consistent, and just sharing you my thoughts about it, right? Because what helped for me is strategy itself is there, right? It's not really hard to implement the strategy. But I think the problem is you keep on tweaking the strategy, and you get once you've learned a strategy, right, to get traffic or to make sales and stuff, and you get very excited, and you do it for about the first week, get so excited, you take action, and you expect that you'll be crushing it, right? But then it's not working. Then you start to doubt yourself, doubt the strategy, and then you see other people crushing it using the same strategy that you've been following, and then you get frustrated. And it happened to me as well. I see a lot of people being successful in their online business, and I try to copy them, but somehow it didn't work, right? Maybe you don't have a social proof. So whatever reason that it's not working, I start overthinking things, right? Start thinking every reason why it is not working. But what I realized when I changed that, I mean, I was frustrated when my electricity got disconnected, and that was a frustration that actually changed everything for me. I mean, if you're a father of 8 kids, a family man, and a breadwinner, it's a different scenario, right? So I need to change something, and that was not the strategy, because the strategy that I was following back then is is working, because inside the community where I was member of, it was in school, they're crushing it. So, and my mentor told me just to follow these steps. I was following it, but somehow I was not being consistent, and the strategy was just 2 hours a day. So, what I realized, it's not the strategy itself that's been missing, right? It is more your inner system, your operating system, how you operate, the relationship between myself and my emotion and my thoughts was the problem. Because even though I was consistent, but somehow a small tweak was I was chasing, right? I was desperate to make a sale. Of course, I was in 10K debt back then, and I need to make a sale. But when I just focused, what makes a sale? It's the value that people get from the content, from the business itself, and they trust you because of the value that they receive. But if you are operating and then you keep on creating content out of desperation, people feel that, and the quality of content that you will be creating, it will also be shitty, right? It's going to be pushy, and you're going to say things that you think it will make sales. So they'll keep on saying about the income claim and all that bullshit, right? But not the real value, not the real income generating thing, which is the skill itself, right? The skill is not just the marketing skill, but being a leader. Your the self skill, the skill that you will learn how to be creative, the skill that you will learn that you have, that something that in you that you have, that you can amplify and then monetize, right? Those kind of things, those are skills, and the skills is the key, right? I mean, the key is your inner relationship, but the skill is supposed to be the focus on the program that I joined back then. So now my point here is, and then yeah, on that story, the tweak that I did is I stopped worrying about the sale, despite that my electricity was disconnected and I need to make a sale. Despite that, I just I know it didn't work, and I've been in self development for about 22 years, so I know about I know how to deal with the mind and with the emotion. And before my electricity got disconnected, I was trapped with my emotion and with my mind. Even though I know how to deal with it, I was still um, I was overcome by my emotion and my mind. But it's a wake up call when my electricity got disconnected because I really need to do something. And being frustrated, I'm aware that being frustrated and being more worried will not solve the problem. It will just make the problem worse. So that's why what I did is then I started focusing on the strategy, ignoring my thoughts, ignoring my emotion, and things change. So after 2 weeks after my electricity got disconnected back then, I made 3 sales in a row in a 5 days time. That's about $1,350, and that's a huge money here in this country, in the Philippines. And then I made consistent sales. I just keep doing it, refining it, making it better, and from there, I paid off my 10K debt about 4 or 5 months after that. So, but the key is, I didn't. The strategy was not the issue. It was how I was operating. It was how I was performing. It was my relationship with my mind, the relationship with my thoughts. Because what happened then, your way of taking action, the way how you operate, should not be dictated by your emotion and by your mind, right? Because what happens if you become reactive, right, and you follow a strategy and you become reactive, meaning the outcome you have in the strategy dictates the performance of your output or your input, right? So if you create a video and you get low views and then you react from it, then you will change it, right? Or worst part of all is you get frustrated about it. You start tweaking things and you start doubting yourself. All of those questions, you start blaming the platform. You start blaming, you know, anything beside yourself. But the reality is, the problem is, you can never find the real reason why it was not working. For example, getting more views, right? So if you do that and you keep on being reactive and being frustrated, this will change. You can never collect data. Instead of you collecting data and find what to refine, what to change, then because you keep on tweaking it, you cannot be consistent on one strategy, then you will never get the accurate data and you will never find the real reason or what you need to tweak, or what you need to change, and then refine it, because the strategy itself works. It's just you didn't have time enough or enough data to analyze and find what you need to tweak. That's the biggest mistake what most of the people have. So inside my community, for example, I have Anya. She has a lot of views. She has she has an offer. She has a lot of views. She has an audience. She basically has everything to crush it. And she reached out and she was struggling because she felt that she was not landing the right person, the ICP. So we had a call, and it was a simple shift, right? It was a simple shift that we talked about, and which she didn't saw because she was frustrated. It was her frustration, it was the mental blocks, the emotion that made her not see what the problem is. So we fixed that, and after 14 days, she made about 4,600, and then made $6,000, 6,200 actually, not just 6,000, on 30 days time. And now she's crushing it, right? And now she's teaching mindset, and she's teaching offer, and simple, still following the same strategy, but just simple tweak on your inner system, your operating system. So if resonates with you, right, like and follow this video, share it to someone who might be interested with it, who can be a help for this. And if you're struggling the same thing, inside my community in school, we have this KLARITI Execution Gap Audit. It's a audit. It's not just a big course. It's not a course. It's not a big course. It's an audit. It will ask you questions, identify what is that bottleneck that keeps you procrastinating and not taking action consistently. And you will be surprised, in this audit, it's not a strategy, right? But it's inside, it's free in my community. Go to I'll put it in the description. It's called the KLARITI Execution Gap Audit. That's the name of the module. And my community is called Clarity for Overthinkers. And if this is something for you and you can benefit from it, you're struggling with that, then feel free to join and take the execution gap audit. And you can even message me inside so we can have a call if you are having those problems, and I'll be happy to help. Okay, so hope this helps, and I wish you a blessed day. All right, peace.